Greetings, Bassketeers. Josh Fossgreen here. Are we getting tired of Greetings, Bassketeers yet? Nobody's commented on that. I wonder what you guys think. I'm going to stick with it. Greetings, Bassketeers. Josh Fossgreen here with Chordal Etude number 2, because as we discussed at the end of the last video, nothing gets the juices of the young people flowing more than a good old hashtag Chordal Etude. So here we go. Go ahead and download the sheet music and tablature, which is in PDF format. I just said that in a very confusing way. And there's left-hand fingerings in there too, which will be very useful to you for doing chord voicing. So here's what this thing sounds like. I'll just demonstrate with another really great drum beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Etc., and it repeats from there. Okay, so here's what we're working with. Let's not worry about rhythm for now. Let's just look at chord voicings. So for the first 3 bars, we're really just going in between 2 different voicings. First, it's an old standby. If you don't already know this voicing, you are missing out, but no longer, because I'm going to show it to you. It's the good old 1, 5, 9, 10 voicing. This works great for major or minor. All you're doing is picking a key, taking the root, the 5th, the 9th, which is a 5th above the 5th, and then the 10th, which is either a half or a whole step from the 9th, depending on if you're major or minor. So you can get or, okay, every breath you take, you can hear both of those voicings, the major and the minor. Good stuff. Okay, so this time we're dealing with the minor version. So this is a G minor add 9, not a G minor 9 because there is no 7th in the chord, right? So we're just dealing with the triad plus a 9th. So that's chord number 1, and I recommend you finger it with an index bar on the E and G string notes. So you got index on G, middle on D, pinky on A, and then barring with the index on the B flat. So your bar doesn't actually have to deal with the A and D strings, so it doesn't need to be applying pressure all the way across like this. You just need to grab the outside string. So you can hear if I pluck the inside notes of that bar, it's just garbage because I'm fretting those up here. So it can be more of an angly thing than a straight pressure thing. And it might look like you need to have big hands to do this, but you really don't. People with small hands do this voicing all the time. Check out Victor Wooten does this all the time, and he's a classic example of a bass player with small hands who does the kinds of things that a lot of people with small hands think that they can't do. You just have to figure out how to do the stretches. And with any new chord voicing, I meant to say this in the last Etude video, so I'll say it now. It's gonna feel weird and uncomfortable at first, and you might be inclined to think, if you're not used to it, oh, I won't be able to do this voicing because it feels weird. No, it feels weird to everybody the first time. Those of us who are now comfortable with it just got through that period. So just be one of those people, just get through it. Figure out how it's gonna work for your hand and give it some repetition until you can just comfortably get the voicing. Okay, so that's voicing number 1. I'll move a little faster now. Voicing number 2, this one's a little bit trickier stretch-wise, but I still think most of you are going to be able to do it because we're so high up on the neck, the frets are really close together. So this is a voicing for, you could call it an E flat 6 over G. You could also call it like a C minor 7 over G if you wanted to. It really depends on how you're thinking of it. I think if I was going to solo over it, I'd think of it as a C minor 7 over G. So what's cool about this is we're just moving all of our upper voices up a step in the G minor scale. So the 5th goes up to the 6th, the 9 goes up to the 10, and the 10 goes up to the 11, analyzing from G. So I'm going index, ring, pinky, middle. And the reason I'm doing it that way is because that's, as far as I can figure, the smoothest way to get between the 2 chords, okay? So my ring finger can take over from the middle jumps over here, and the pinky just slides right up. And then the index stays here, although it no longer has to press down on the 10th over there, okay? So just play with going back and forth between those two, the G minor add 9 and the C minor 7 over G. And this would be a good time to talk about plucking. So there's a couple ways we pluck this in this pattern. One is a really cool plucking pattern. I probably stole this from Victor Woot too. It's where you pluck the 9th and the 10th simultaneously. So for the first chord, that's the 9th and the 10th. And then for the C minor 7 over G, I guess you'd want to call that the octave and the 7th. Just plucking the top 2 notes as a grouping is a really cool thing to do. So fingering wise, you can go thumb 1 and then 2, 3 at the same time. Or you could go thumb, thumb, and then do index middle if you don't like using your ring finger. So you can either, or, same effect either way. So in bar 1, that's how we pluck. Then bar 2, we just do a straight arpeggio. So you can either go thumb 1, 2, 3, or you can go thumb, thumb 1, 2, you can go 1, 2, 1, 2. However you like to pluck chords is cool. This isn't really a video about plucking technique. You can just watch my hands, see what I'm doing, and then make your own decision. Then bar 3, repeat the pattern from bar 1. And then bar 4, we do a little variation where we pluck the C minor 7 over G chord, same way we plucked the first chord. And I'm realizing now I wrote that second chord as E flat 6 over G in the PDF. Just between us, you could also think of it as a C minor 7 over G, same diff. Well, basically. So, yeah. Well, actually, it is the same thing. Let's be fair. It's C, E flat, G, B flat, or E flat, G, B flat, C. Same difference. Okay, so that deals with the first 6 bars. So let's finish this up with bars 7 and 8, and then we'll start trying to play this along together. So now we move on to some 3-note voicings, which I personally find a lot easier. I tend to use them a lot more often. So we're going, let's not worry about the rhythm for now because it's a little bit funky. Starting with the C minor chord, just going root, 5th, 10th. We're just plucking each note, bottom, middle, top, middle. Okay? Ring, I should tell you the fingering. Ring, index, pinky. Then ring goes down to middle for C minor over B flat, 2, 1, 4. Then slide these 2 down for the next chord, which I think I call it D7 flat 9 over A, even though it's missing a couple notes. Or, yeah, a couple notes. So same fingering for those two. C minor over B flat is 2, 1, 4. D7 flat 9 over A is 2, 1, 4. And then it's just a D chord, middle finger on the root, index finger on the 3rd, pinky on the octave. And then we sneak in the flat 7 at the end with the ring finger. So let me just demonstrate that. Okay. And then you're back here. So the rhythm here, we're just playing groups of 4, but we're in 9/8. It really just feels like it's in 3 with a triplet feel. But I chose to write that as 9/8 because it's pretty cleanly a triplet feel and not just a swing. So there's a couple ways you can feel that. You can keep feeling the 9/8 pulse, 3 groups of 3. So you can keep your head bobbing at the same pace. Or you can screw yourself up and feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So however, if you want to feel the subdivision of what you're playing, or if you want to keep yourself in the main groove of where the dotted quarter note is, it's up to you. I recommend doing both, trying to feel comfortable both ways, because the more rhythms you're comfortable with, the less often you're going to get screwed up in real life. Okay, why don't we try playing this together a little slower than I demonstrated earlier. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and here we go. so just like in the last Chordal Etude video, I was talking about self-diagnosis. So make sure that each voicing is coming out clean with each note ringing clearly without buzz. Because again, if you're getting buzz, you either need to check your positioning, make sure you're at the end of the fret, not sort of on the fret, and that you're applying enough pressure. And also you want to watch your intonation by making sure that you don't bend the strings too much. Like I noticed that I had tendency to bend the E string towards the other strings when I go to the C minor chord in bar 7. So watch out for that. So apply the pressure downward, not sideways, is my note to myself. So see if you have some notes to yourself, because when you're watching internet lessons, you really have to be your own teacher. Let's face it. I do my best, but I can't see your hands. You can see your hands, so you're the real teacher. Okay, that's the basic thing. Let's try it at full tempo. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I tried to do the wrong move there. You have to go. I tried to do a tap harmonic. Can't do that. Wrong rock star move. Okay, so that's the thing. Now, as usual, I encourage you to come up with your own variations. Like on this, there's a couple things you could do. One is just to change the plucking pattern. Let me just kick on the drums. Okay, so you can just change the pattern you're doing with your right hand is one thing you can do. You can also add some little filler notes like okay, so really all you need is the G minor scale there for most of that. So you can add some filler notes. You can do some tapping on this too. Okay, so just tapping stuff. Again, just G minor scale, doodly pull-off stuff there. Nothing groundbreaking. But there's a lot of things you can play with. And that rhythmic device wouldn't be a bad thing to get used to too. So again, write your own etudes is really the point of these videos. It's fun to learn the things I came up with, and I encourage it, but I would really love it if you came up with your own things. Maybe let me know in the comments that some of you are actually doing that so that I know I have some A+ students out there. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me. I really appreciate the viewing and all the kind comments, and I hope that you are getting a lot out of these videos. That's really the point of doing them, is you to benefit. It's not just because I love setting up all this video equipment and editing in Final Cut and uploading to YouTube. I don't actually enjoy any of that stuff. I just want you to have more fun playing bass. So I really hope that this is helping, and if you'd like to support me in continuing to do this, please check out my Patreon community or buy my books at my website. And I'll hit you with another one of these Chordal Etudes next week, because I really like doing these little mini series of videos, and I hope some of you are appreciating that as well. I sort of do it at the sacrifice of getting more views, because when people see that a video is the third of 3 and they haven't already watched one, they think, oh, I won't get around to it. It'd be better if I just made Red Hot Chili Peppers lessons every week. But I don't feel like it. Anybody can teach Red Hot Chili Peppers. I want to show you some stuff that I think is a little more useful than just doing song covers. So, blah-de-blah-de-blah. I hope you appreciate it. And thank you very much to those of you that do. I'll see you next time.